Hello everyone, my name is Inko and we are back with the Grand Campaign Hotseat. It is currently turn number 8 for myself, the Moors, and we are going to jump right the fuck in. This is going to be a tense episode. I'm not very confident about my actions here, and let me break it down for you. First of all, let's grab my spy, Hassan Saidi Sif, and we'll move him south just a little bit. If we head to the south, we can see that, first of all, Prince Rodrigo is besieging Pamplona, as I had predicted. Pero de Coco has left Toledo with a couple of units, 4 units to be in fact, a bunch of infantry, and he's going to assumedly garrison Zaragoza, which is 100% empty. And unfortunately, at this point in time, there is no way for me, to actually occupy Zaragoza. However, there is a French army in the Pyrenees Mountains marching to declare war on the Spanish. I have talked to France and I've got them to join me in this war, and I don't think they'll be able to capture Zaragoza because because they have to cross the river to get to the city, but I think they will be able to attack the armies outside of Pamplona. So at the very least, he can prevent Spain from capturing Pamplona. Now, I had intended to sail down, disembark, and attack Prince Rodrigo in the flank. Unfortunately, I don't have enough movement points to do it. The only unit that can actually attack Prince Rodrigo is Sultan Miswar with a couple of mercenary units. So we can kill the prince with a couple of mercenary units, but then we're stuck out in the open and can probably be attacked by a crusading army. Maybe not this turn, but the next turn, which would blow. And there's, you know what, speaking of crusade, there's only 2 places where they can form a crusader army. If by some stroke of luck all of these units around Pamplona survive, they can form a crusading army. If Pero de Coco heads back to Toledo, as I assume he would do, here's the reason. I don't think Pero de Coco has the movement to head to Zaragoza, so as soon as Spain sees that France has attacked the units in Pamplona and is en route to Zaragoza, he won't put his army out in the open to be attacked. Instead, he'll retreat back to Toledo, meaning that there will be enough units in Toledo to form a crusading army. The only other place that they can form an army is in Valencia. Obviously, there's enough troops there. I can't actually land or do anything around Valencia because I am concerned that I'll get spotted. Like if I land down here, I'm pretty sure I'll get spotted and I'll be out in the open, and that army can march out and attack us. Instead, what I think I want to do with this army is be a little bit covert. I'm going to stick it right behind this mountain. If you do any scouting by land, you will not see this fleet. If he was to go on crusade and recruit some ships, then of course he would see the fleet. But I don't think he'll do that. Instead, I think what he'll do is take Pero de Coco back to Toledo, form a crusading army, and attempt to march north. And the reason for that is that Miswar is actually going to attack Lyon. That's right. He's going to disembark, head to this little mine here, and recruit some mercenaries, some Ghazis and some mercenary spearmen. There we are. And he's going to attack the city. Now the question is, how much of my army do I want to devote to this attack? I am almost certain that he does not have the movement to actually get to Lyon, even with a crusading army. Let's think about this. Pero de Coco is going to have to return to Toledo to give him enough units to actually join the crusade, so that's a bunch of movement points spent. Obviously, he can't put Pero de Coco on crusade with the faction leader. I think his name is King Alfonso. Alfonso is the only general that can go on crusade. You can only have 1 general per crusading army. To put that in clearer terms, so that means that it's going to have to be these 4 infantry units or some mercenaries plus these 3 units. There's 2 units of cav, some knights, and some genets. But basically, he's going to have to expend movement points to go on crusade, and that should prevent him from being able to march to Lyon. So the question is, do I risk it on the off chance that there is some strange way that he has the movement points and attack the place, or do I just instead send a corps of infantry and bring Missoir later, I don't know, next turn? See, the problem is we only have a few more turns until we have to start making our way towards Tripoli. Once turn 10 ends, then we can't join and rejoin the jihad, meaning that our units will begin to complain and desert around like turn 11 or 12 or something. So we actually have to move towards the target to prevent that. So what I'm thinking is we'll take Lyon and maybe kind of skirt around Spain and be picked up by a navy and then sail down. I'm hoping that Egypt may capture Tripoli before I have to get down there, because really I don't want to declare war on Sicily just so I can capture Tripoli. Because obviously I'm going to be dealing with Spain. Having said that, I don't even know if Egypt has sent an army yet. If they haven't, they should, because we're all going to be suffering attrition if we don't capture it within the next few turns. So I don't think the Turks are going for it. I'm not sure if Egypt is either. But at the very least, I have to start moving my army towards the target to prevent suffering attrition. You know what? We're going to grab Missoir and we're going to put him right here. And we're actually going to besiege the city.
This will be an honorable battle.
We're going to declare war on Spain. Recruit a ram and a few towers and ladders. There we go. That should be enough equipment. So if by some stroke of luck or some strategy I'm not seeing, Spain is able to march out, that means they'll have 3 units of cav, Alfonso, these 2 units, plus whatever mercenaries they get from being on crusade, so crusading knights, potentially 5 units of cavalry, plus the 3 units of garrison in Lyon. So I don't know, Missoir may get killed. What I'm really hoping, though, is that we can leave this army at sea. They'll move some units out of Valencia to respond to the French, and then we can make our move. It's hard to say, though. I don't really know what they're going to do. Now, that's our plan for the Spanish. Let's begin looking at the rest of the kingdom. We've made a bit of gold this turn. We are going to be earning 1,700 next turn. It looks like I'm going to say 1,700, yeah. Unless we start messing with taxes, that's what we're going to do. We have to turn down the tax in Lisbon because we are not actually going to be sending this unit to garrison. Instead, everyone is going to be heading towards Cordoba. I wanted to send Chiba up here, but he doesn't have the movement to go where I wanted him to. So instead, all of these units are going to garrison Cordoba. You know, another option for Spain is that they could go on crusade and try to attack Cordoba or Granada, which will mean that we can respond. If the army in Valencia goes on crusade, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can leave 1 unit behind, which is not a lot. And it's going to take at least 2 turns to reach Cordoba or Granada from Valencia, I would think. Unless they build roads or something, I'm not sure. So, to respond to this, we will not actually be sending this fleet to Lisbon. Instead, we'll garrison Granada with these few units. We've got Crown Prince Ayub, a few spear militia, and eventually we'll have a unit of Desert Cav that we will recruit this turn. In Marrakesh, we can turn the taxes way the hell up. That's going to drop our population growth, which is not a big deal, but we are very close to upgrading, so I kind of want to push towards that. To alleviate our public order issues and our population growth issues, I'm going to build a town hall that will give me quite a bit of positives here. I can turn taxes up, my population growth won't be stagnant, and basically it's going to have the same effect, plus more, as building a farm. These farms will increase our income by around 50 gold, it'll increase population growth by 0.5, it'll also increase corruption by 3 gold coins, which isn't a big deal, but the thing is, our town hall will actually reduce corruption by 50, so it's pretty much the same, but the town hall is the better choice. They are the same amount of cash. As for recruiting in Marrakesh, I'm going to have to put it off. I think I want to, if anything, recruit a ship in Lisbon. Speaking of ships, by disembarking our army off this ship, I've actually activated an exploit. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this one, but basically what it has done is given my fleet unlimited movement. If I give you a quick example, you can see how large my movement range has become. It's crazy. So to be fair to Spain and everyone else in the hot seat, I'm going to move the ship what I think is the default movement, which is like 19 squares. So I just moved 2 or 3 there. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, roughly around here is where I want to go. I think that is well within the default movement for a fleet. Actually, maybe 1 more square to the north. I don't want to be spotted by this fishing village. So the reason I've moved this is because there is a Spanish ship right here, the one that was down by Lisbon, and I can only assume that A, they're going to dock in Lyon, or they're going to continue around to, I don't know, pick up the army in Pamplona. I don't want this ship to be spotted. Yeah, look at the movement range. It just kind of ruins the game. I shouldn't have to say this, but I have not cheated and scouted the entire map because you can. It's crazy. That would ruin the game for me as well as everyone else in the hot seat. So you don't have to believe me, but I really hope you do. Anyway, so we're building a mine in Lisbon, which is going to increase our income by a lot. Our taxes, unfortunately, are low there, but I'm hoping eventually we'll be able to recruit some units there that will allow us to raise taxes yet again. There's one more thing I want to do, and that is to recruit a spy, which is going to drain our treasury a little bit further. We've got a new spy by the name of Carey of Morocco, and he is going to actually head towards Toledo, I would think. Yeah.
Today's journey ends.
I don't know. I think we want Hassan Saidi Sif to be like in the north, kind of, something like that. He can keep an eye on these lands up here, and then Carey of Morocco can keep an eye on Toledo. And then the next spy that will arrive can probably head along the coast. I don't know. Spies are wonderful in hot seats. Speaking of agents, we have a diplomat who is probably going to head to France. He'll arrive in a few turns. I recruited a merchant, which was probably not a good move. They're really expensive and they don't pay off. Especially as Morocco, or sorry, not Morocco, but as the Moors. Because all of the good resources are so far away. For example, Smail Kayouch has been walking for literally 2 or 3 years. I'm going to say 4 years. And he may not arrive before he dies. I don't know. He's going to have to cross this big fucking desert to start trading in slaves and ivory and gold. It's going to be a long time. Interestingly enough, we have actually managed to build roads down here. The workers from Marrakesh have crossed across these mountain ranges, and they've built roads so that eventually we can get down to Timbuktu or something. I don't know. So we're building in Marrakesh, we're building in Lisbon, Cordoba, and Algiers is still building a port. So that leaves 300 gold to do what? We can't build anything in Granada. We can't build or recruit anything in Algiers. So unfortunately, I think we're going to be forced to hold on to that cash. We can recruit some town militia, which would not be a bad move. These spear militia, I'm not sure what to do with them. They can't be retrained. We'll hold on to them, and eventually maybe we can get rid of them. We can't retrain them in Cordoba, unfortunately. I don't know about Lisbon. Oh, we can retrain them in Lisbon eventually. So let's grab those spear militia and send them to Lisbon. So at least we'll have 1 unit next turn. As for Cordoba itself, let's recruit another unit of town militia just because we have the cash. There we go. We've also got Fakir, Fakir the Fakir outside of Lisbon, and he is going to continue recruiting / converting, I suppose, because our religious unrest is high as hell. That's the primary reason we can't have taxes very high. Ooh, excuse me. Yes, our mining is going to be a huge payoff. And I think that's about it for this turn. We have 3 units of cav in Algiers, which I think is quite a bit. Personally, I think I can micro 3 units of cav to great effect. So I'm quite happy with that. Now, I suppose we ought to send a message to Spain. You know, okay, well, this is off to a glorious start. Great lords of Spain. I must admit my sins to you. I have been dishonest and dishonorable. It was clear to myself and my council that there could never be peace between us. There is only room for one in Iberia. That much we can agree on. Your stubborn stance since the fall of Portugal did nothing else but leave a sour taste in my mouth. In my mouth! Exclamation point. I knew then that war was inevitable. I can only hope that you forgive me. I can only hope that you forgive me for. I can only hope that you forgive me for taking the first strike, swinging first, striking first. Oh, let's put a glib joke in here. I can only hope that you forgive me for striking first. Perhaps by turning the other cheek as your God, as your holy book would say. I don't think there's no turning the other cheek in this situation. We're gonna have to wipe Spain out. May your swords be sharp. You know what we need to do? I think we need to be a bit more honorable here. You know, just kind of be like a sportsmanly gentleman approach, you know, like, good game, my friend. Okay, your stubborn stance since the fall of Portugal did nothing else but leave a sour taste in my mouth. I knew then that war was inevitable. I look forward to meeting Spanish metal. Ooh, we can even put a pun in here. We know. Nah, we're not going to put a pun in there. Actually, no. Spain is full of hard people. We look forward to testing their metal and their steel. Okay, now this is where we'll put in the sportsmanly shit. May your sword be sharp and your spear. No, may your sword be sharp and your shield strong. I can only hope that you forgive me for striking first, perhaps by turning the other cheek, as your holy book would say. May we one day meet upon the plains of Spain. The enlightened, there we go, Sultan Miswar Lord of all Iberia. Let's stake our claim right now. Lord of all Iberia. There we go. Lord of all Iberia and Africa? No. Yeah, okay, that's our message. Great lords of Spain, I must admit my sins to you. I have been dishonest and dishonorable. It was clear to myself and my council that there could never be peace between us. There is only room for one in Iberia. That much we can agree on. Okay, let's... Your stubborn stance since the fall of Portugal did nothing else but leave a sour taste in my mouth. I knew then that war was inevitable. We know Spain is full of hard people. We look forward to testing their metal and their steel. May your sword be sharp and your shield strong. I can only hope that you forgive me for striking first, perhaps by turning the other cheek, as your holy book would say. May we one day meet upon the plains of Spain, the enlightened Sultan Miswar, Lord of all Iberia. Boom! We sent the message. Okay, the relations have worsened between us and Spain. Who'd have thunk? And when I say Spain, I really mean Castilla y Leon. I don't really know how you pronounce the Y. I've said that before. Okay, so let's look at France. France is allied with Scotland and the Holy Roman Empire. They're at war with England and the Turks. So apparently they've joined the Crusade. I don't know where that army could have gone. I have no idea. You know what? Let's look at the old faction rankings. Here's us. This is our overall ranking. We're actually not doing too bad. I think we're 8th amongst all of the other factions. Turn number, it doesn't actually say here, but if we look at all factions, here we are. So we're about middle of the road, which is not too bad considering how shitty our start has been. Well, I say shitty. The first 4 turns were not great. Well, the 4th and 5th turn were the turnaround, but you know what I mean. It's been rough. And we're not very large. So if we look at our neighboring factions, we can see that both Spain and Sicily are below us. If we add Milan in there, Milan is a little bit higher than us. Perhaps Venice. Venice and Milan are neck and neck. Egypt has taken a dive recently for some reason, and the Turks. Oof, look at that. They're not doing so bad. Okay, so let's just keep an eye on the Italians. These are pretty much the factions in my immediate surroundings. So Spain and Sicily are about even. Milan and France are stronger than myself, which is unfortunate. Not what I meant to do. Spain, Sicily, France, and Milan. There we go. Now, if we look at military, I'm stronger than Milan, Spain, and Sicily. Sicily has actually taken a dive a little bit. Production, we've increased. Territory, we've increased. Finances, we are doing better than Spain and Sicily. I think we're doing better than Spain and Sicily in almost every regard, which is not too bad at all. So, you know what? Things are going well. I'm hoping that we'll be able to wipe out Spain quickly, capture Lyon. Hopefully, Prince Rodrigo won't survive till the next turn. I'm hoping Admiral Yusuf will be able to drop off Qasim to attack Valencia eventually, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, everyone, I'm probably going to end it here. I don't think there's anything else for me to do, so I must say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to end the turn and pass it on to the Turks. I'll see you guys next time.